This is ScapeROMFile, and if you're wondering why I sound like shit, I just woke up. Don't worry, this won't be another Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2 situation. I promise. But this is actually going to be a pretty serious video. This is going to be mainly affecting the stream schedule for a little bit because unfortunately some personal shit came up, so I'm going to probably be taking just a mini break from streaming. Usually when personal shit comes up, I don't like to, do streaming and all that stuff. I'll still upload because that's not too bad, and most of it is old shit I need to get out there anyway. There are some rants I wanted to get out there, particularly with my tangent about King of Fighters 15, Halo Infinite, and some other stuff. I might do it separately. I was going to include a Pokemon rant, which is also technically recorded alongside my Android 21 rant, but I don't know. I might put it on the cutting room floor, or maybe make it private or some shit. I don't know. There is some pretty ridiculous shit, I'm not gonna lie, but there's some shit that's came up. I'm not gonna really go into details because I don't really think it's anyone's business, but all I know is that it's gonna affect my bottom line, and I don't want to have to worry about something even worse happening on live stream and then I'm away for a while. So that's definitely going to be something I don't want to deal with. So just to avoid the precaution, I will not be doing a stream for a little bit. I'll make it up by uploading something within the week, I suppose. Although this still means I'll have to get my ass working on other recorded projects. This will definitely give me some wiggle room in order to do some stuff. But I won't really be streaming much, but I will be uploading to make up for it, basically. But yeah, the news of what happened, it's just affecting everyone, and I don't want to stream while there's still development of this news going on. I'll probably wait until it dies down. Maybe I'll give it a week. I'll make another video if I have to. But for right now, that's just how it is. I did want to do a mini MTO on Wolfenstein Youngblood. I actually was playing it, at least the main missions, throughout the weekend. Well, mainly Sunday. Technically, there's only not that many main missions, but they kind of pad it out by having you do side missions in order to take on the brother missions and, essentially the raid missions, basically. Basically, how I feel about the game is that, yes, I know that Jess, I think her name is, the two sisters, they're definitely cringy at times, but honestly, now that I think about it, although the people who wrote the character, I think they try to make them like dudette bros, like something like Billy and Jimmy, kind of like with Double Dragon, except this is a game where you kill Nazis, and the tone of these games are usually meant to be, serious, and they definitely kind of feel out of place. But I will admit that I'm not saying that they're not, I'm not gonna address the game without going into the, addressing the elephant in the room. But given that I'm playing the current Xbox One version, playing an Xbox One S, the gunplay is still pretty solid. I'm not going to lie. You're going to definitely be seeing footage of that, in case you can tell, of the final mission. Because I don't know what to tell you, honestly. The gunplay is pretty okay. The Uber Hammer is probably my new favorite modern day FPS weapon, even if it's not particularly the most badass weapon. Just the fact that you're essentially shooting a rocket launcher of some sort that explodes twice is honestly some of the best feelings I've ever seen. It's also in New Colossus, which is also a plus because I actually like that game more, just because you can actually manually save your game, which, yes, I know this game doesn't let you manually save, but this is more of a Borderlands-esque kind of game where you're leveling up, you have skill trees and all this stuff. People really complain about that game for some reason, but it's whatever. Yes, it sucks you have to upgrade your character's abilities, and not even all the abilities that the two daughters of BJ had in his games. But some of the abilities you do get are pretty cool. I really do like the pep ability where you can essentially get little buffs. I personally would recommend having your AI partner, and yes, I'm also going to say co-op does not fucking kill this game. You know, it's not a fucking Dead Space situation where, you know, a horror game with co-op would just totally ruin the game. And honestly, most of these old shooter games always had co-op. And I do feel that, at least in my opinion, the AI was actually pretty decent. And I should mention the difficulty is also on easy. I don't give a shit. The difficulty doesn't really change anything anyway. But make no mistake, the last boss definitely requires your utmost attention, even if most of the difficulty does come from the fact that it was pretty low leveled. But the quad damage buff definitely makes it a lot more manageable. Seriously, that shit is fucking OP as shit. I do wish there was a little timer, though, on screen showing how long it lasted. But usually one rocket from the Uber launcher is usually the most time you're going to get anyway. But the Uber weapon with the shotgun, I forget which one it is, it's definitely pretty good against the boss. After a couple of Uber shotgun firing at the final boss, he definitely went down without a hitch. But I will say that even though the game's bullshit of not keeping your Uber weapons between checkpoints and the shared lives mechanic can also screw you over, I actually made it out okay. It's just a matter of running around, not getting your AI partner caught. I actually did get screwed over by the AI partner, essentially teleporting, especially when she was in critical danger and I was trying to revive her, but she kept teleporting and I got fucked over because of that. So yeah, make sure you have quad damage and make sure you stock up on your Uber weapons. And for the love of God, do not use the fucking Uber hammer in the first phase. That, you will not get a good hit regardless. Just use anything else and save that shit for the final form. Trust me, you don't want to make the mistake that I did. But I think after about maybe a half hour, I'm not sure, you'll definitely get it. Trust me, this game is... While the story might be as bad as everyone says, I still look at the gameplay of all things, and, you know, people are going to say that The Last of Us Part 2 is still a good game, gameplay-wise, but terrible storyline, but still holds up as a game, I guess. Then we're going to have to look at Wolfenstein Youngblood the same way, because it's just ridiculous. But speaking of gameplay, I really do like the fact that the level design is actually explorer-heavy, as in it's not just mindless arena shooter, unlike a certain video game that is clearly referenced in this game. But, you know, the levels, yeah, they're integrated. You know, yeah, they're little hub areas of some sorts, you know. They all might kind of feel the same, really, but I really don't mind because, you know, you're always finding silver coins, you're always finding ammo for your guns. It's just really nice. I haven't felt much incentive to explore in that game because you really don't find anything. Yeah, there's a bunch of pointless collectibles, but hey, it's there's definitely areas that let you return and stuff. You have a lot of weapons to kick ass with, even if it really does suck that you can't dual wield primary weapons. But hey, you definitely can at least dual wield essentially a pistol with a high automatic firing mode and another pistol that essentially only has 12 bullets, but with both of them powers combined, you can definitely dish out some damage. Since apparently the game has a armor system where you have essentially two different bullet types, and all this really seems to factor is just how damaging the bullets will be against anything else. But I just mainly used the shotgun, the one with the extra magazines, and that shit pretty much tore up through anything as long as I was not fighting an enemy that was over leveled or anything. But seriously, it just was fucking disgusting. But you know what? It's okay. I am a simple man. It doesn't have to be this complex dance unlike Doom Eternal. Yeah, the AI could be a little better. You're technically fighting other, you know, little dudes that are essentially all reskins, but I don't care. It's it might be lowering my expectations and, you know, saying that it's fun. It's the most subjective take ever, but this isn't a objective review of the game. It's just my thoughts on it, so I'm just gonna keep it that way. But I do feel like the robot's a little more advanced, but once I got the quad damage, I pretty much started mowing them down. Although this is only at the end of the game, but it's whatever. But I still enjoyed the gunplay regardless. I do want to mention, though, that the beginning is probably the most slog part of the game. That was mainly because I was playing in co-op, and that didn't really help. I can't quite imagine how playing the game in solo mode when you're trying to get to the, you know, the intro part will be any better. I did end up skipping the cutscenes, but there aren't really that many anyway. I know that there's those elevator interactions that definitely might come off as cringe, but I will definitely give the game credit that there aren't really that many load times between them. You can skip them and get right to the next section, which I think is wonderful game design. It's essentially, you know, you're going into the elevator, you hit the button, you watch a cutscene, you skip it, and you're already in the next section. I don't think there's a way to turn this off, unfortunately. There might be a mod on PC. I don't know. But regardless, the gunplay is good. Level design is good. The two sisters, their writing is kind of cringe, but people might be annoyed at their constant rehashing of lines, but, you know, a lot of games do this, so I'm not going to really fault it in this one too bad. Although there was one line that kept popping up, and they had different reactions, I think. I think it's the one with, after this is over, you want to go to some convention or something. But I was honestly playing the game in mute because I was, as an addendum, I actually was recording footage for my Cuphead guide. And I actually am almost done with the game on Expert S rank. I mentioned this on Twitter, but just to keep this short, I only have a couple bosses left to go. The only ones I have left, I think, are like, let me check. Yeah, three more flying bosses and the final boss. I actually did take on King Dice, and yeah, I have a lot to say about that when I get to the guide. But I'm not going to record that now because, or maybe I will. I don't know. I'll see. But that fight was a bitch. Anyway. So, yeah, Wolfenstein Youngblood. I did try streaming it a little bit, but I figured since the main missions were the raid missions, I figured I'd go through all of them. You do get the those weapons that let you explore the areas a lot more, so that's good. The gunplay, especially in the final main mission, was pretty good. I really enjoy it. Again, I know it's not as elaborate or technical as Doom Eternal, but I really don't care. It is the gunplay that's all that matters, and even if the weapons aren't as super elaborate, I still had a good time. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to lie to myself. And I really feel bad saying this because I know people are gonna give me shit because, oh, you like Wolfenstein, the new Wolfenstein, but you hate New Doom. Well, yeah, I might make Wolfenstein Youngblood a reoccurring stream if I decide to change up my themes, because there's just something with the gunplay that's just really exciting. Again, even if I'm playing on easy, the difficulty doesn't really matter. There aren't really any achievements tied to difficulty, so it's whatever. There's also no permadeath mode, so that's also good. Something that Wolfenstein 2 should have learned. Even if the game's hardest difficulty might be hard as hell, at least you can manually save. In Youngblood, I can understand why they did that, but I guess the way the live system works is okay. Just as long as you make sure that at least your AI partner isn't down and that she actually gets to you, and then, you know, you manage to revive her, which for some reason when AI revives it's actually really quick, but when you have to revive her, you have to wait a couple seconds. I don't know how to feel about that. But regardless, that's just the way it is, so I can't complain about that too much. There are definitely some things I don't care for, but I might elaborate in another video. I just wanted to get this out there. But I don't have much else to say at the moment. I just wanted to let you guys know about the current situation at the moment. I didn't really talk about this on Twitter because I don't think it's as impactful, but I know that in May I'll be doing my usual little break, and I I don't know if I actually did record a video talking about this, but I don't know if I'm going to release it. But May is usually around the time of the year where I do take a break from everything because it's just a very depressing month for me personally. But again, I'm not going to get into it. I might make or release some kind of video talking about it, but I don't know how much I'll leave in there for personal reasons, but we'll see. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my little rambling, and I'm sorry if the beginning was a little uneasy. It was, it's the fatigue of just waking up and the pressure of the personal issues that are going on at the moment. But thank you for listening, and I will see you on live streams when this is all over, I hope. I'll see you all next file, and take care.